What's up, E.D.G family? Kevin here. And today I wanted to do a special video. I wanted to do a giveaway. And I wanted to do it because in the last couple weeks, somewhere in there, I did my 100th upload. So I thought that was something special. I thought, I think the channel is growing slowly, and let's see, if we can grow it a little bit more. So yeah, I want to do a giveaway. I want to talk a little bit about something before that, though. I want to talk about my introduction into board gaming. It's a conversation I haven't had on the channel yet. It's something I wanted to talk about for quite some time. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to not only talk about how I kind of got into board gaming, but also talk about, the games along the way, and one of my gateway games, which I will be giving away at the end of this video. At least the details, probably give it away in the next month. We'll see, and I'll put some details in the description. But let's get into this right now. So, board gaming to me, I feel like every kid grows up playing some board games. And I will say board games weren't super exciting for me when I was growing up. I was definitely more of a video game kid. I grew up, playing, I remember booting, Windows from DOS as a kid. That's crazy to think about. So I remember playing, some platformers on original Windows. I had an NES growing up. I talked about this a little bit in a video I did last week. Playing Galaga, playing Rampage, playing, Castlevania. Games like that on the NES. I remember that. And, so at a younger age, board games weren't super prevalent. I do remember having games around, mostly, Milton Bradley, stuff like that. So I do remember having, like Hungry Hippos around, Ice, Don't Break the Ice, maybe even, I'm trying to think of the, so many games to think of. But yeah, I wasn't super big into board games growing up. I would play a little bit with my sister growing up, but definitely video games took the spot. I played Sega Genesis growing up. I eventually got a PlayStation. It just kind of went from there. Video games always felt like they were there. Board games always felt like they were around, and if the situation called for one, we would definitely play one. But I remember, my grandparents would play dominoes with my parents growing up. So I remember playing dominoes at a relatively young age. And, chess, checkers, Chinese checkers, stuff like that, just nothing that was super compelling to be like, oh, I want to play it again. In fact, I feel like billiards growing up were a bigger deal. My grandma had a pool table. I remember playing that. I got a foosball table around when I was 10 or so. So I definitely liked dexterity-esque games, but I never really had anything super crazy. I got into, I was into sports. I played a lot of soccer growing up. I played a lot of golf growing up. If you can't tell by some of the games I've talked about on this channel, those are definitely the two sports I'm a bit more into than the rest. So, like I said, not a whole lot of board games. I played Halo growing up. I don't remember when Gears of War came out. I was probably closer to my 20s, but I always play big titles. But as I got older, video games for me, PC games, real-time strategies, Command & Conquers, they started to kind of get on a cycle. Because I don't know if anybody else has had this experience with video games. I have pulled myself back, definitely in the last 15 years, because I just don't like having to update a system. In fact, that's a lot of the reason I got into board games at an older age. I just got sick of having to get a new system every year, constantly updating. You'd have to spend external hard drives, if you wanted to keep multiple games on your system. I just really don't like that culture that video games have gotten into. I know, you got cloud space now and all that, but that's kind of a lot of the reason I definitely kind of turned that corner. So getting closer, into my 20s, I felt like that's kind of when things started to pick up a little bit. I remember my first apartment losing power and being like, well, what am I going to do now? Can't play board games, can't play, I was really into like RTSs, like I said. Dawn of War, I think, was popular-ish when I was playing PC games like that. We'll definitely talk a bit about video games, probably in a different video. I don't want to get too heavy into that. But me turning that corner was definitely, in my 20s. I got my own dominoes set. And even then, it's dominoes. But I even picked up a couple more. I picked up Star Wars Stratego. and I still have my copy today because I'm a Star Wars fan, and it's more like a memorabilia. I don't play it very often. And then I got a little bit into Warhammer, mainly because I've been playing real-time strategy games. I got into Dawn of War was basically a 40K video game for Warhammer. So I picked up some miniatures. In fact, I got more into painting the miniatures than actually playing the game. So this was definitely a short phase lived. In fact, I have some of this Warhammer stuff still around. Need to figure out what to do with it. But not those. I like those. I like my painted miniatures. But yeah, so even then, I tried to get into Warhammer. Wasn't a huge Warhammer, at least 40K crowd locally. I feel like everybody is still kind of into like the CCGs, TCGs, Magic, whatnot. Not a whole lot of war gamers at that point in my exploration of board games. So it was a very short phase, and I kept going along. But after I had a kid, my wife would be on night schools. Was in night school at the time, and I started pulling out some of my older games, like the Stratego, the Dominoes, stuff like that. And so me and I think she was probably 3 or 4 at the time. Just simplifying everything, just physically, playing games with my daughter, kind of got me moving along towards looking into games. That and the fact that we had a very, I'd say, intense barbecue group in my late 20s when we would play games while we would spend the entire day barbecuing. And that's, like I said, I think I've talked a little bit about that on a previous video as far as how this channel kind of evolved into what it is. But yeah, we were looking for games, and one of the first games I caught my eye was a dexterity game, and it was Clask, and it reminded me of ice hockey. It reminded me of, billiards games, things like that. So I got a board very quickly after finding that. I think you could get them at Target at the time. I don't remember if I got mine at Target or I ordered it online, but they were available. So I picked up a board, and that became kind of our Sunday game. And I got into it so much, I ended up getting a second board, and I took it to my job at the time, and we'd play on breaks, we'd play on lunches. We got so crazy into this, we kind of had our own little Clask league at work. I remember getting super crazy into the metrics, keeping a league table, and this went on for several months. It was fun. It was very fun. And from there, I kept looking at stuff. I think I picked that up for Christmas one year, and then the next year I picked up another dexterity game. It's called Bonk. No, I think I've talked a little bit about that one on another video too, so I don't want to get super into that one. But definitely a fun 4-player game. I don't really like it any other player count. I would never play it with less than 4 players. But that kind of evolved, and so then the next year I was looking for something completely different. I was done looking for dexterity games. I wanted my gateway game. I wanted a board game that was light and easy to learn, and I picked up Forbidden Island. And Forbidden Island, I don't know if I'd say that was my gateway game, but it's definitely probably the more modern board game as far as what people think of as when you think about board games. I know a lot of people aren't super big into dexterity games. But yeah, so I got into Forbidden Island, and then it just kind of went from there, And I will tell you, I've definitely played. I feel like board games have replaced the video game. It's almost the opposite now. I'm more likely to play a video game when my daughter's excited to play a video game. I'm more excited just to play a board game. I do not find as much of the appeal of some of the newer video games. I definitely like to dive into something on the table. And from Forbidden Island, like I said, we got into Pandemic, we got into Catan, and eventually I'm picking Scythe up. I'm picking up Tiny Epics. I don't want to get too crazy into my first year board games. I think we'll talk about that when we announce the giveaway, but that is pretty much how I got into board games. Like I said, super big into video games growing up, and just wanting that interaction with my child, and then wanting to bring that interaction into our Sunday barbecue group, was a huge part of me seeking out games. I watched a lot of tabletop, Will Wheaton's tabletop on YouTube. That was a lot of the reason I think I picked up Forbidden Island was I watched the play of that. And, you know, a couple of the other ones, like Tiny Epic, I think, was on there. Galaxies, Catan Jr., picked that up for my daughter. Pandemic, you know, all of those were just, they were games that were well liked, and they were great starting places. So I definitely, like I said, if you're getting into board gaming, you're kind of looking at this one, all those games are fantastic. Look for what's right for you. That is the thing. I went with the cooperative one because I feel like me and my wife do better when we play cooperative games. But, you know, eventually I've expanded out. I've gotten into a lot heavier games since then, and my collection has just kind of evolved from there. But I will always like dexterity games. I will, like I said, I don't know if it's the athlete in me, you know, the sports junkie. I've always had, you know, a thing for dexterity games. Eventually I do plan on getting like a really nice foosball table as well, because I'm a huge fan of some foosball. But yeah, that's gonna bring us, you know, like I said, I didn't want to get too crazy into how I, you know, my first year. We'll talk about that later. But I do want to say, if you're interested in this giveaway, you need to let me know what your gateway game is. Let me know what game got you into this hobby. You know, I'm very excited to see what some of those games are. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I have 2 class boards. As I mentioned, I got 2 class boards, and I'm gonna give one away. I have my other one still up there. This is just taking up closet space. And this is what the giveaway will be for. So what do we do about the giveaway? So the giveaway is going to be to leave me a comment on YouTube what your gateway game is. What got you into board gaming. But I don't want to even just leave it there. I want to give some bonus entries in. If you leave me a comment on Facebook, leave me a comment on Instagram, or easier yet, you leave me a comment on Discord. I'm going to put a channel up just for this giveaway. I'll give you an extra entry on all platforms. So if you're interested in this class board, definitely leave me a comment. I will ship this for free in the US. I will take care of the shipping if you are inside the United States. So think about that when you're doing the giveaway. If you're outside, probably split it with you. We'll do that. I think that's a good thing to do. The last time I did a giveaway, I had a very nice gentleman offer to pay for half the shipping. Worked out extremely well, so I think I'm gonna do that, especially for this. But this is pretty much what I would say got me into board gaming. Fantastic little game. I think I've talked about this on my dexterity video. So if you want to know more about this, definitely check this out. But I will say this is a fun game. I have had a lot of fun playing it. So that is I think pretty much gonna wrap it up. I will put all of the details for the giveaway in the comments below. I want to say thank you, though. I also want to say thank you because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. I think you know, like I said, growing the channel, finding friends, talking to those friends. I enjoy all the conversations, the comments, the Discord. You know, the Discord conversations. Everything's been fantastic. I want to keep doing this. I think we got a lot of stuff ahead of us. It's gonna be a lot of fun. If you're looking for another reason to subscribe other than just this class board, I mean, I got a lot of Kickstarters I got delayed. I'll have those coming up. We got Final Girl Series 3 to cover. A lot of playthroughs coming up. I still plan on doing some more Too Many Bones stuff. Still plan on doing some more Final Girl stuff, obviously. A couple more Kickstarters previews coming up for the rest of the year. But we're going to have a lot of fun. A lot of changes coming to the aesthetics of the channel in the next month or two. So we'll do that. I'm going to leave this giveaway open till the end of September. So that will be the hard day. I will turn all comments off, and we will do another video, and we'll do a draw, kind of like we did last time. I think we did a giveaway about 6 months ago. It was a pretty successful giveaway, I believe. So yeah, super excited for this one. I hope you guys are too. Like I said, subscribe, like this video. I mean, we want to grow the channel. We want more friends. I think everybody on Discord would agree. You know, getting some new voices over there would be a lot of fun. So think about that if you're already on Discord. And good luck. Good luck to you. We'll leave it at that. But until next time, much love.